Good afternoon, viewers. Welcome to Ask Your MP program for this week edition. My name is Lucy Lapoti, right from Wizards Foundation, and right now we're in Parliament of Uganda. With me, I have Honorable Member of Parliament. She will introduce herself to you and the responsibilities that she has within Parliament. Honorable, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. My name is Beatrice Rwachimari. I am a district woman representative for Ntungamo district, and I also sit on the Health Committee of Parliament.
You're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yes, Honorable, last year on Tuesday, September 18th, the Speaker of Parliament in our communication to the House noted that numbers of committee are delaying with the things that are supposed to be brought before Parliament for discussion and to be enacted to the law. And according to her, one of the committees that are delaying is Committee of Health in Parliament of Uganda, with the 2015 bill concerning the Indigenous Medicine and complementary
Indigenous and complementary medicine
yes,
bill,
yes,
2015.
Yes. Why is that delay?
Yeah, actually, it is true that some bills have delayed, but this particular bill has not delayed. It was first presented to Parliament in 2015, I think around February 2015. And I think because Parliament was near closure, the bill was saved till the 10th Parliament. We have handled the bill. We have done benchmarking in Ghana and India. We have written a comprehensive report about our findings, and our report is very ready for submission to Parliament. Actually, any time from now, it will be on the order paper such that the whole Parliament can discuss it so that we come up with a very progressive law.
So what is the status at the moment? The status of the bill?
No, the status, the bill, there is a draft bill, and what we are waiting for is for the Parliament, the committee of the whole Parliament, to debate the findings of the Health Committee, give their input, enrich the bill, and then the Committee of Health will go back and finalize the bill for presentation to Parliament. So as I speak, I think the bill is now 90% complete.
Now, if all those processes or procedures go through, what do we expect if this bill is passed into the law? What should we expect from the law?
Yeah.
What will happen?
Basically, there are two objectives of the bill, and allow me to read them. The first objective of this bill is to register all practitioners and practices of indigenous and complementary medicine. The second objective is to provide for the minimum standards to be maintained in the practice of indigenous and complementary medicine. So basically, this bill will help us to regulate a huge sector of herbal medicine. And I think this is very important in our country because right now, there are so many good things about herbal medicine, but also many things negative about herbal medicine. So we need to create a balance. We need to protect the consumers of this herbal medicine through this bill. Because right now, that's why we have so many people selling all sorts of things in the name of healing and curing our people.
So, open market.
On the open market, you will find all sorts of drinks on the market with all sorts of prescriptions telling the people that if you take this drug, if you take this drink, you'll get cured of ulcers, you'll get cured of this without any scientific proof. So for me, as a person, and for Parliament as an institution, this bill, this law, will go a long way to regulate to regulate the operations of the herbalists, but also protect the population in the country.
Honorable viewers all over the world are watching you, and they've already started asking you questions. We have question from one of the viewers, and you can read and answer him respectively. Yes.
So Gabriel Iguma is saying that we spend so much money on benchmarking. Is it really necessary? Of course. If it wasn't necessary, wouldn't be doing it as an institution? For example, we got a lot of information from India, a lot of information from Ghana, and this information is going to help us enrich our bill. So for anybody to imagine that benchmarking is a wastage of money is really not fair.
Yes, viewers may want to know exact information that you got.
For example, we found that in India, this whole sector has created a lot of employment to the young people. There are so many people, young people, who have gone into studying, because for them, this whole sector is it is recognized, it is under the Ministry of Health. There are institutions, formal institutions, for training health workers or doctors into herbal medicine. There are many factories in the country producing herbal medicines. It is a whole big sector. Unlike here in Uganda, where the sector is left to nobody but to everyone.
Yes, on the same note, Gabriel is asking you that as we wait for the law, what happens to those that are currently harming sick people using fake herbal medicine?
Yeah, of course, right now there is nothing in place to curb that. That is why we are quickening kind of the process to ensure that this law in place, because it is true right now, people are taking anything in the name of curing them, even if the herbal medicine caused damage to them. They have nowhere to run to. They just suffer at home locally. So right now there is no framework, there is no institution that is there to regulate that kind of work. So that is why Parliament is coming up with this law.
Okay, we have
so
another.
Right now people are at the mercy of God. Yeah.
More questions for you?
More questions. Again, Gabriel Guma, as we wait for the law, what happens to those who are currently harming sick people using fake herbal medicine? There is nothing much that can be done to them because there are no guidelines, there is no law in place to overcome that. And Iguma again, does the bill also regulate those that use spirits and charms? That's a very good question. No, not yet. Because we realize that we need another law to deal with spirits and all these people who are claiming to be curing people with HIV and AIDS, all those who are claiming that a certain soil will cure them, a certain rice, a certain soil. We have not gone into spiritualism and the repercussions. No, we have not gone there. And even the witches, the charms, we are not yet there. We want, first of all, to start with the so-called herbalists. They are there, they are known, and some are doing a good job, but others are harming our people. And that is why Parliament as an institution is interested in intervening to save the population.
Yeah.
Now, Mpisi wa Chiyombya, the herbalists claim they have not been consulted. Who is Parliament? Now, of course, they were consulted. We cannot consult each and every herbalist in the country. That is not possible. Yes. But these people have an association. There are so many actually associations of herbalists, and we were able to sample leaders from the various institutions, from the various associations. We met them as parliament. We have our report, we have our minutes. So anybody claiming that we have not consulted the herbalists is not fair. So we have consulted them, and we shall continue to consult them so that the law we make is relevant to the people of Uganda, is protective of the people of Uganda, but also protecting the herbalists.
Truth.
Yeah, because herbalists are also Ugandans.
Yes.
Yeah. And by the way, I must emphasize that we must differentiate the herbalists that are offering good service from those that are conning our people and fleecing them of their money, of their hard-earned money. Yeah.
Truth Musimenta is asking you.
Truthfully, Musimenta, how fast can that law regulating spiritual healers? Because we have lost many lives, most of them children, because of. I agree with the Musimenta absolutely, and I have said that after enacting this law, let us first finish with this law. Maybe before the end of this year, we shall have tackled, because we also realized as a parliament that so many things are going on with the spiritual world, with the human sacrifice, including, of course, children. And this is a very, very, very pertinent issue that we must deal with. But I want to request the population out there to be patient so that we first finish with this very important law so that we can proceed on with that spirit kind of law.
Yeah.
And I agree, so many people have fallen victims of that spiritualism and witchcraft and all sorts of funny and fake things out there in the population.
Richard Katami from Mbale is asking you.
Richard Katami Boyo, some people associate herbal medicine to witchcraft. What is your? No. Actually, the two are different. Although the witches may be using some herbal medicine, they may be using other forms of medicines as concoctions prescribed to their clients, but the two are different. Herbalists are not necessarily witches, because as I have already told you, in India, many young people have qualified in homeopathy and other disciplines under indigenous and complementary medicine. So you can become a doctor, a land doctor in herbal medicine, scientifically done and proven. So you cannot call such a person who has taken time to go to school to study herbal medicine, engage in all scientific researches and experiments, and you call that one a witch. So in short, herbalists are not necessarily witches, although witches may be using some herbs to cure their clients.
Now, if this bill is passed to the law, and I am Dr. Lucy Lapoti, I want to, I've studied herbal medicine, I've studied they call it modern medicine?
Conventional medicine.
Conventional medicine. So can I open one clinic for herbal, and in the same clinic I put the conventional medicine? What does the law say about,
no,
the bill say about?
According to that bill, that will not be acceptable. Much as you can study conventional medicine and also study herbal medicine and qualify as a doctor in both medicines, the law will require you to open two different clinics or two different hospitals, one for purely conventional medicine another one purely for herbal medicine. And these are the things that we want introduced in our country because they are helping other countries like India and Ghana. So once a person qualifies in conventional and herbal medicines, they will be having 2 practicing certificates in 2 different environments or 2 different rooms or buildings. So you will not come to a conventional medicine, a conventional hospital and expect to get herbal medicine. No. If you come to a clinic or a hospital offering conventional medicine, that will be it. And if you want to go to a herbal a hospital offering herbal medicine, then you will also have to go separate ways and look for that. But the 2 will not be in the same location, in the same place, in the same building.
The questions are coming from viewers.
Now some big or quaco. Some herbalists have licenses that allow them to operate under
which legal provisions are they?
I am not aware of those licenses, and if they have them, then I do not know where they got them from. Because for us, we are trying to put things to regulate the sector, the herbal medicine sector, and in the bill, it clearly specifies how certificates will be given, how different certificates will be given to the practitioners. So if there are people right now with certificates, I'm sorry, I don't know where they are getting them from. Chiomba, the Makerere School of Health Sciences is considering research into indigenous medicine as part of its curriculum. Is indigenous medicine becoming more accepted? Of course it is. That's why we are going to have the law in place. Remember, the title of the bill is Indigenous and Complementary Medicines Bill, meaning that it is accepted, of course. It is accepted that indigenous medicine exists. It is good, although some people are misusing it. And therefore, that is why Parliament is coming up with a law to regulate the operations of the herbalists and any other person interested. So we acknowledge it and we accept it.
No, one of the findings.
There is, yeah, okay.
You have answered that one. One of the findings that, according to the reliable source that I got, according to the findings that the benchmarking team that went to India got, is that when this law is enacted and indigenous medicine is being used, it provides a number of employment for young people. How?
I have already told you that, first of all, we shall have institutions to train these herbalists at different levels. So already that is employment for people who are going to teach them, the teachers, the researchers, all those will be added jobs. Then 2, once herbal medicine clinics and hospitals are opened, they require people to work in such facilities. So those are also added jobs created by the new herbal medicine clinics and hospitals, because these are going to be formalized like the conventional medicine clinics and hospitals, and that will be creating employment. Then we also anticipate or envisage factories that will be producing these herbal medicines, factories that will be producing medicines which are scientifically proven, not this business of giving you a whole jerrycan of herbs to go and drink to cure diabetes or high blood pressure, a whole jerrycan to cure liver problems, to cure all sorts of problems. No. The factories and small scale factories will be established to start producing herbal medicine, which is scientifically proven with right doses, so that our people can benefit. So all those, now once the factories are established, then they will employ people, and that is also another form of employment. So with this law, people might be looking at just providing medicines, but there will be added advantages of employment for our population, both young and old.
You have more questions from Chiombia, you have from Gabriel.
Chiombia, are the indigenous medical practitioners represented on the licensing board? Yes, they will be represented, because that is a major stakeholder in the whole process of indigenous and complementary medicine law. Gabriel Guma, what role will NDA play in this? NDA will directly have a role to play in this, because we are talking about herbal medicines. Already NDA is already regulating medicines in this country. So whether the medicines are conventional or herbal, they are medicines which need to be regulated by NDA. So NDA will have a very big responsibility in ensuring that standards in the production of these medicines are maintained, standards in the prescriptions, standard like any other standards recognized by the conventional medicine. So NDA has a direct hand once these medicines are produced on the market.
If I get it clearly, the bill stipulates that any person shall not be allowed to practice herbal medicine unless he or she is registered to
by the council.
Yes, and also practicing without license commits an offense.
Yes.
And then the bill also stipulates that it is an offense to pollute the environment in the course of practicing indigenous and complementary medicine. It also says, so all this, who will be monitoring? Where is the monitoring bit? Who will do the monitoring?
Already we have NDA.
Okay.
By the way, it is already doing it with the other manufacturer, other factories that are manufacturing medicines. This is not new. Okay. They are already doing it, except that here we are going to start producing herbal medicine formally. So the same responsibilities, the same work they are doing, the same supervision they are carrying out over factories, over local factories producing medicines. And you know them, there are so many. KPL, I don't know what. India is already supervising them and monitoring them. So the same responsibility will be extended to herbal medicine factories. And yes, so this is not new.
Okay, there are more questions.
This is not new. Gabriel Guma,
Chiomba,
is the government willing to invest in indigenous medicine research and development producing? Of course. This bill is from government. This is not a private member's bill, meaning that this bill recognizes, this government recognizes the importance of indigenous and complementary medicine. And therefore, government already has institutions that are engaged in health research. The UNRO, Uganda Health Research Organization, is already there. We have a whole Ministry of Science and Technology. We have all these research institutions at Makerere and other institutions of learning. So,
Uganda Joint Clinical Research.
Yeah, there are so many, several of them. So, government will increase funding to ensure that enough research is done in this herbal medicine. And actually, in India and Ghana, they, there is a vote dedicated to research into indigenous and complementary medicine. And I believe our own government will dedicate funds into that area because it is very important. People are already consuming these herbs. So if we are to regulate, we cannot regulate these herbs without making research. So indirectly, not actually indirectly, it is obvious that government will invest in research for this in order to improve the indigenous and medicines.
Karen Biaranga from Ntungamo.
Why do we say herbal medicine? Karen Biaranga is from Ntungamo.
Yes.
Sure. Why do we see herbal medicine more popular nowadays? Is it because there is a gap in the health sector to provide proper medication? Yes and no. First of all, as I have already mentioned, that there are good herbal medicines that have helped our people. That is for a fact. And maybe that is why government is interested in making further research into this. Much as there are people misusing the herbs, but there are also who have made money out of these herbs, and they have treated our people very well. So I believe, is it because there is a gap in the health? Not necessarily, but the two are complementary. That's why maybe we are calling it indigenous and complementary medicines. Even once these herbal medicines are on market, it will depend on an individual whether to go for conventional medicine or go for herbal medicine. So it's not that there is lack of medicine in the country. There may be inadequate maybe medicines in the health facilities, but on the open market, in the private pharmacies, medicines are available. But some people prefer herbal medicine to this conventional medicine because they think it is less harmful to their bodies. So it's not that they are inadequate supplies per se, but it is a matter of choice and preference for the people who want herbal medicines as opposed to conventional medicines. Yeah. Even if the conventional medicines were available, there are people who would prefer to take herbal medicines. And there are many.
Yes, according to the research carried in Uganda, over 60% use local medicine. What could be the reason?
First of all, herbal medicine is available. It is cheaper than conventional medicine. It is not complicated. My grandmother can go, or my mother can go to the bush, get herbs, crush them, give them to whoever is sick. So they are used because they are easily accessible, they are cheaper than the conventional medicines, they are available, and they do not require a doctor to prescribe. But also,
And result oriented.
yeah, they are also result oriented. You are suffering from stomachache, a few concoctions you drink, and you are okay. The only problem is the dosage. And I'm sure that is what government is going to emphasize, dosage. We are not saying they are useless or they don't work. They do work, they are good, but we must scientifically
Regulate.
regulate it.
Yes, Katan is asking you, we have heard of people with different intentions in this venture of alternative medicine. How will the genuine herbalist be identified?
I've heard of people with different intentions in this venture of alternative. How will the genuine herbalists? Genuine herbalists will be identified the way we identify genuine doctors in the hospital. First of all, we have talked about the licensing. Not everybody will go to the council and get a license. There are steps which must be followed for any herbalist to acquire a license. And I am sure people will be able to identify them through licensing. Secondly, since we have talked of establishing formal training institutions for herbalists, that will be one way of also identifying the people who have gone for such courses and qualified in such courses. So for me, I think we cannot completely eliminate fake herbalists, like we cannot completely eliminate fake doctors, but that is why the bill is there, to regulate. Once a fake herbalist is identified, the law will catch up with him. And once the law catches up with him or her, then others will also fear maybe to start practicing fake herbal medicine and related issues. So for me, I think the law is one way of regulating and identifying fake herbalists.
Yes, we have questions coming in.
In PC, indigenous medicine is trusted by the common people. Is this trust justified? I have already alluded to that herbal medicine is good, it is useful, it is cheap, it is accessible, and it is trusted, of course. You cannot trust something which is not working. But I have emphasized the issue of dosage. It may be useful, but we don't know how much is supposed to be taken. Even if you get cured or healed, but we don't know whether that dosage you have taken has caused other problems in your body. So that is why we are coming up with that.
Yes.
That those who are practicing herbal medicine should practice it from a scientific point of view.
Yes, your last question.
My last question is cement again. By the nature of some cultures and background of this country, is there a serious possibility of offending the suppliers and consumers to the point of causing unrest in the country? I haven't understood that question very well.
By the nature of some cultures and background of this country, is there a serious possibility of offending the suppliers and consumers to the point of causing unrest in the country?
There shouldn't be unrest in the country. In fact, the country should rejoice that government is coming up with the legislation to regulate the operations of the herbalists. So I don't know which cultures my colleague Msimenta is talking about, because herbal medicine should not be localized on small things like which example can. And by the way, we are focusing on herbs. We are not talking about bones. We are not talking about other forms of medicine. That's why I told you we are not yet into witchcraft. We are not yet into spiritualism. But we all know that there are people who are known as herbalists. Those are the people we are targeting to regulate their operations so that the population can live a healthy life. So I don't know cultures Msimenta is talking about. Maybe cultures, for example, where the code of the baby is supposed to be kept and taken somewhere. I don't think government has a mechanism. I don't think government has mechanism to follow up such cultures. But again, government is concerned about harmful cultures. That is why we put a law in place against to regulate the operations of female genital mutilation, domestic violence. So if the law is harmful, to the population of Uganda, yes, there will be cause for government to intervene and bring the culprit to book. Yeah.
Thank you, viewers, for watching us. We may have to stop here. Our honorable member has some assignments she needs to attend to.
Go to the house. The house.
She has to go to. She has to attend the plenary. She has issues to raise in Parliament. She has issues to respond to in Parliament. Thank you so much for watching us. viewers all over the world, please continue sending you questions to Honorable. She will be answering you for the next 1 week, even when we are not live on air. Now, Honorable, I have one private question to you in public.
Okay.
God created the world in 6 days. And on the last day, he created man. And that man was Adam. When was Eve created? Because Eve was created when Adam was born.
But the Bible is very clear that Eve was got from the rib, from Adam's rib.
Maybe in which period?
Now, I am not very scientific about that. I don't know which period.
Yes.
All as a good Christian, all I know is that Eve was got from the rib. Is it the right or left rib of a man?
Right, I think.
Yeah, so the time frame, I don't know. And I don't want to tell lies. So Lucy, save that question for, for a pastor or for a reverend father or for a bishop.
Okay, thank you so much, viewers, for watching us. We have been talking about indigenous medicine. I mean, indigenous medicine and complementary medicine bill 2015.
But soon it is going to be indigenous and complementary medicine bill 2019.
Yeah, you have heard from the source's mouth. I cannot add on to that. Make sure you watch Face the Citizens TV show every last Saturday of the month. Watch Ask Your MP show live like this every Thursday between 2 to 5. And listen to our Parliament radio program from the nearest radio station to you. Thank you. Same time, next time. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.